Alright, and welcome to episode 7 of my What is Hitman Roulette series. Today we're going to be talking about Hokkaido, and despite this map being easily one of the smaller maps in the trilogy, it's definitely got a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of interesting isolations for Yuki. Soders is a very interesting target on this map as he does not move, so he's basically isolated himself. So, that being said, for Yuki I will be going over the isolations, but for Soders, since he's already basically isolated the whole time, you're going to have to know how to kill him. So every single possible kill method that could come up for Soders, you're going to be learning how to do them all in this video right now. So I hope that helps. There's definitely a lot of stuff to go over because of that. The Soders kills and the Yuki isolations adds up to a lot, and there are a lot of disguises on this map too. So we got a lot of ground to cover. A quick tip to know before even going into this map is bring a key hacker, period. Key hackers in this map are your absolute best friend and definitely the most important tool you're going to use for the majority of spins you'll be seeing. So without further ado, let's get started with the starting locations. In terms of starting locations for this map, there are very many options you have at your disposal. Every single starting location is viable. The only one that you don't see very often is Spa, but again, you could probably start Spa and have everything be just fine. It just doesn't really seem to come up that often because there are better options for you. Restaurant is always top tier. Starting in the morgue is fantastic. Default location is great. If you start Handyman, you can get a lot of stuff done really fast, like isolating Yuki, etc. and so forth. Resort staff start doesn't come up very often, but in case it does come up in a spin, resort staff start can benefit you in a lot of ways. So really, any starting spot in this map is viable. There is no reason to discriminate. It is up to you how you want to start it and how you want to approach each spin, depending on the spin. Now for the first isolation, we're going to be going over Yuki on the gondola. You can isolate her there pretty much at the start of any starting spot, aside from default. From default location, you can still isolate her on the gondola easily enough, but you do have several seconds less to play with. So if you're going to isolate her on the gondola with the method I'm showing here, you might want to start restaurant or chef or handyman or something of that sort. This is the best and easiest way to do it. You just need to bring a snail. As soon as she starts moving, once she's done being on her iPad for a bit, you can bump into her once she's a little bit ahead of her guards. And then straight smack in the middle of where the 4 guards are located on the gondola, you drop your snail, and then you back up and you wait for her and everybody to freak out / pass out. And then you knock out her once all the guards are KO'd. That's as easy as it gets. There's nothing really to it. Just make sure the snail is far enough away from Yuki that the radius of the explosion of the gas does not affect her. Alternatively, this next isolation works for even the default location. All you need to do is have a throwing item ready. You go around to the side of the open sliding glass doors, and then you toss the throwing item at this wall here. As soon as you see Yuki open the doors and start walking through, that's when you're able to toss the object. At that point, you can run behind her guards. The one that's closest to you is going to get tranked, and the one in front of you is going to get knocked out in any other means. And then you head straight up to Yuki and knock her out. At that point, you do have the option to knock out the other 2 guards on the gondola. Just make sure that you knock the guy out on the right side with a trank, and not the one on the left, as the guy on the right side can turn and look and see the guy getting knocked out, and then see the unconscious bodies that you left as well. Knock them out and you're free to go. Very easy isolation, can be done from any starting spot. The next isolation we're going to talk about is getting Yuki sick. Enter Jason Portman's room by any means necessary. You can either KO Jason Portman, which we'll be discussing a little bit later on in the video on how to do so, to get him inside of his room. Once Yuki's walked up the walkway and is talking to the hospital director, you can peek around the corner with your seeker in hand, seeker her, and then immediately seeker one of her guards behind her so that he fucks off. Yuki's gonna get sick in Jason Portman's bathroom. Occasionally she does go into your bathroom, but that's pretty RNG. Once she's sick in here, you gotta KO the guard that's behind her and then KO her and leave her body here. You can come back at this point at any time and you're good to go. The final isolation we're gonna talk about for Yuki is the sauna lure. The sauna is a very decent strat. It does take the longest amount of time most of the time, but it's definitely the most viable if the spin requires you to be in a hostile disguise for the Yuki kill. Examples being ninja, motorcyclist, or baseball player. You can approach the sauna one of 2 ways. You can go into the sauna directly through from the spa entrance, and then use a key hacker to get through this door, or you can enter the sauna via the operating area. My example here is showing you how to climb the pipe here from the garage area, but you can approach the sauna any way you see fit, just don't rip yourself on the way. Once you turn the temperature up, the NPCs that are in the sauna currently will leave the sauna, and then it'll be completely empty waiting for Yuki to arrive. Yuki's not going to show up in here until just after the 4-minute mark, but when she does, she's going to send her guard away, and she's going to isolate herself inside the sauna. So perfect opportunity, get her inside the sauna, and then you can choose to drag her into this room here, and at this point you could really kill her any way you see fit. You can do a loud ballistics, you can do loud explosives in here. This is a completely soundproof room, so it's good to go. Also, the sauna itself is a soundproof room, so if you want to blow her up in there or shoot her in there with a loud gun, you're perfectly capable to do that as well. Sky's the limit. Sauna lure, top tier, definitely. Like I said, the only issue with this one is it does take the longest time. Moving on to Soders now. This is the interesting stuff for this map because, like I said, he's already self-isolated, but it's all about the kill methods at this point. So I'm going to teach you how to do each kill method here. Downstairs in the morgue is where you're going to be going about approaching Soders' kills, no matter which kill for him may be on the spin, with the exception of explosion, but we'll talk about that one a bit later. There are 2 stairwells I want you to keep in mind. One is directly beside the camera box downstairs in the morgue, and the other one is the opposite area, right by the locker that has a screwdriver right in front of it where your agency drop-off point is. The agency drop-off stairs, we're going to dub them the Soders stairs, and then there's the stairs by the camera box that we're going to dub the Yuki stairs. Reason for that is because the Yuki stairs leads to the walkway that leads to the sauna lure for Yuki, and the Soders stairs leads to everything you need to do for Soders, like electrocution, robot arms, etc. and so forth. Speaking of electrocution, we're going to be going over electrocution right now for Soders. The electrocution kill for Soders is done by grabbing a screwdriver first and foremost, and then you're going to be heading up the Soders stairs. You're going into the very top floor, and then you're going to be heading through this door right here through the theater room. Keep in mind that if you're not in a doctor disguise or surgeon or something like that, then you're not going to be able to enter this door without a key hacker, so make sure you do that. Another thing I need to address that you need to keep in mind is that you need to shut the cameras down before you even approach this kill, just to make life a lot easier for yourself. So make sure you do that with the camera box in the corner of the morgue right by the Yuki stairs first before you head up these stairs and approach this kill. Once you pass this door, there's a control panel here on your right. You're going to trigger that control panel and you're going to head back the way you came. Once you exit the theater room door, you're going to take a left and go around the corner, and there's going to be another door you're going to need to access via a key hacker. Right here is where you're going to be doing the electrocution. Use the screwdriver you picked up by your agency pickup downstairs to tamper with the equipment here, and then wait until the robot Kai starts counting down. Kai is the thing that's going to be speaking to you periodically throughout this map. Once she starts counting down and says the number 3, at that point, before she hits number 1, you're going to want to trigger this panel here, and the electrocution kill will commence. It's that simple. At that point, get the hell out of there, get back downstairs to the morgue, and you're free to go. For the robot arms kill, you're going to be approaching it more or less the exact same way. Take out the cameras, head upstairs to the top floor again, and go through the theater room like you did for the electrocution kill. There's going to be a door on your left you're going to access via the key hacker thing again, and inside here is Kai. There are panels on the wall, 4 panels in total, that we're going to need to mess up in order to fuck with Kai. Just grab any random panel on the wall, and if she doesn't shut down after tampering with the first panel, then tamper with the second one, whichever one of you're choosing, and she should shut down then. As Kai starts to reboot herself back up, you're going to need to keep a close eye on the screen on the wall here. This screen's going to show the pattern in which the panels need to be dislocated in order to shut down Kai permanently. As you can see here, the pattern is 1, 2, 4, 3. So in order of left to right, that's panel 1, then panel 2, then panel 4, then panel 3. And then at that point, you exit this room once you've done all those panels, and then you hit the control panel that we did for the electrocution kill in the beginning there. That's going to cause the robot arms to go all fucked. Kai's completely out of her mind at this point. She's going to kill Soders, and you're free to go. For the poison stem cells kill, the stem cells can be poisoned with anything, even rat poison, which is normally just an emetic for all other targets, but since Soders is so low on health, if he takes in rat poison, he's dead immediately. So I opted to go with rat poison here, but you can bring poison with you as well. It totally doesn't matter, it's up to you. The stem cells are located behind this door that you're going to need to access via a key hacker. The door is located in between Soders' door and the door with the 2 bodyguards behind it where Soders' heart is located. Poison these stem cells, then remember to grab the stem cells, and then you're going to do a 180 about face and head straight down through the morgue. Past these glass doors, you see the 2 morgue doctors working on the body on your left. You pass them on the left and you go straight through these glass doors here. Go up this stairwell here and through this door. Don't get ripped by the doctor up here, but there is a little panel here that you're going to be putting the stem cells into, which will cause the kill animation to begin. You're going to have Soders killed within a couple of seconds. Of course, you can skip the animation. Don't forget you can skip the animations for all of these kills if you need to. I chose to showcase them just for shits and giggles, but you don't have to. Head on back down below towards where the morgue is again, and get the hell out of there. Throwing the heart in the trash is quite easy, but it does require a bunch of resources, as you'll need a key hacker and a couple of trank darts. Open this door with a key hacker right where the 2 bodyguards are, then trank the guard on the right side. Immediately the guard on the left is going to wonder what the hell's going on with him. You can either choose to trank him, or you can enter the room and come up behind him and strangle him as long as it says subdue on the screen, so just make sure that you don't rip yourself by punching him in the face when you go to subdue him. Run up to where Soders' heart is located, open the casing that's containing the heart, and then grab the heart and throw it in the trash. It's that simple, there's nothing to it. Shooting the heart when brought up in a spin is even easier. It's probably the best way to go about killing Soders, and much preferred to see if you want to go for a fast spin. The one thing I can recommend is you bring a sniper rifle. You grab your sniper rifle from downstairs in the morgue, as long as you have the agency pickup placed there. You get into the room where the camera box is after you knock out the bodyguard in there and stuff him in the closet. And from there, just aim across from the morgue and exactly where the heart is, shoot through all the windows, and that's it. That's all there is to it. You shoot the heart and you get the hell out of there. Now, there are 2 special Soders kills that require wall bangs. You don't necessarily need to use the wall bang strat for these kills, but, I mean, there is zero reason not to. It's just much faster, much easier, causes yourself a lot less headache than going about doing it any other way by actually going up to him in the frickin' labs and shooting him in the face, or blowing him up in the face, and all that stuff. Wall bangs are where you shoot or blow something up and the explosion or the bullet actually goes through the wall and affects the target, whatever it may be. The first wall bang I'm going to show you is the ballistics wall bang. It works for every single gun, no matter what it is, and it's really quite simple to set up. So you stand outside of the camera box doors, right in this little spot here, and then you aim up towards the ceiling to where Soders' body is using your instinct. Now, you're going to see this little line on the ceiling. This line right here that you're seeing me line up across Soders' head is the line that you're going to be using to shoot through the wall. If you shoot into this line, it's going to go straight into Soders and kill him. Doesn't matter what the gun is, like I said. Obviously, it's much easier to do with, say, like a sniper rifle or a pistol, but you can easily do it with a shotgun, too. I mean, I'm doing it with a loud shotgun, a sawed-off shotgun right here. As you can see, I'm shooting 50 frickin' times. And nobody's coming over to check me out. I haven't knocked anybody out except for the bodyguard that would have been in the camera box room here, and it still managed to get the kill. It just took forever because the shotguns have such a huge spread. It doesn't matter. You're going to eventually get the shot. As long as you know exactly where to aim and just keep shooting until you get it, you'll get it and you'll be able to get out in time. There's really not much to worry about. This is a very consistent wall bang, and anytime you see a ballistics kill required for Soders, whether it be silenced or loud, this is always the way I would approach it. And the final Soders kill is Explosion. This is easily the fastest way you'd go about killing Soders, so to see Explosion in a spin, it's always nice. The wall bang here for the Explosion can be done with any explosive weapon, although I highly recommend bringing an explosive golf ball, or a shaman powder, or an explosive baseball, because those things explode on impact. And it's just much easier to go about doing this kill with those items. This window here is where you're going to be tossing your explosive weapon. Right by where the handymen are, right outside where the sushi restaurant is. The only thing that you need to watch out for is enforcers that see you throw something. If you throw something like an explosive golf ball, explosive baseball, shaman powder, whatever the hell, you're going to be ripped because those items are not legal to be thrown. So just make sure that everybody has their backs to you when you go about throwing here, and you should be fine. Throw anywhere that's remotely close to where Soders' body will be on this glass window here, and you'll be free to go. He'll be dead within seconds. Now, Hokkaido is pretty interesting in the sense that it has a suit available for the taking at any time. It's in 47's hut. As soon as you start default, it's just in his bathroom there, hanging up on a shelf. The suit itself says it's a VIP patient, but it does count as the suit, so if you ever see a spin on the map that requires suit, but you started in some other disguise, you can just come grab this in place of the suit at your own leisure. Hokkaido is one of 3 maps in the whole trilogy that actually offers a suit disguise within the map itself. Next up is the baseball player. Easily the shittiest disguise probably in the entire game. It's more or less another Easter egg disguise, similar to the vampire magician from Paris. It's an interesting disguise, but it doesn't really serve much purpose in the map other than just to be there to exist. But it's pretty cool. From the morgue, you're going to be heading upstairs Using the Yuki stairs, you're going to go to the top floor, you're going to avoid these two bodyguards on your left. As soon as the coast is clear, neither of the bodyguards are looking at you, you can use the key hacker, get inside this room, take the disguise, and get the fuck out. Make sure you're quick about this, because this disguise is completely hostile in the entire map, so you're going to be ripping as soon as anybody comes near you and sees you in it, so just be careful. The bodyguard disguise is really quite simple, there's nothing to it. You've seen me take his disguise multiple times in this video already. I'm going to just suggest the one guy to you. The one guy in front of the camera box downstairs in the morgue is the only bodyguard you should ever worry about taking. Of course, there are other options in the map, like if you were to isolate Yuki on the gondola, you can take any of the bodyguards there around her. But this guy is by far the easiest one. He's already self-isolated, there's a closet right next to him. There's no other reason to take anybody else but his outfit, so that's all there is to it. The easiest chef disguise that I can offer you on this map is done by triggering a fuse box that's right outside from where the sushi restaurant is. You can either go out the back door of the sushi restaurant and get to the fuse box there, or you can go down the pipe that I showcased earlier from right outside where the explosion wall bang for Soders is. There's a roaming resort security guy that's just walking around where the fuse box is. That's the box you're going to have to trigger to get the chef outside. So you're going to have to deal with the security guy real quick before you get the chef outside. Take him out, trigger the fuse box, turn it back on, and as soon as the chef comes back outside, just trank him or knock him out normally, move his body off to the side, take his outfit, and you're free to go. That's about it. There are other chefs you can get downstairs in the kitchen, but this is the easiest one to get. The chief surgeon is both super easy and a little bit complicated at the same time, depending on how you're going to approach getting him. If you were to start surgeon right off the bat, avoid the surgeon enforcer that's right behind you at the start of the mission. Get behind the chief surgeon right here and either calmer him or use a sedative syringe. As soon as he's KO'd, you can take his outfit and get the fuck out. This is easily the best way to go to get this chief surgeon, but in case Ninja pops up in the spin as well, and you have to start Ninja for that outfit, which we will explain later, you have to get the chief surgeon in other means. The easiest way I can say is get a bodyguard disguise first, then wait outside in this spot right here, right where the helicopter pilot is. The helicopter pilot's name is Nails. The chief surgeon's going to come over and talk to Nails and ask for more drugs a little bit later on in his cycle. He does it quite frequently, so you're not going to be waiting too long standing in this position. But once he comes back out to Nails and gets his drugs, he's going to come back and stand in this spot right here. Position yourself so that you're not going to be in the way of any bodyguard seeing you from beyond the wall. Trank him right here and take his outfit, and you're free to go. This is a very consistent strat. It works 100% of the time as long as you trank him in the right spot. The doctor is a bit more annoying as there's not too many ways to approach this one. There's only one real viable doctor on the map that's 100% consistent, and this is the one standing in this area. On the first floor of the operating area, he's going to be talking to a female doctor, so you're going to either need to place a snail down when the bodyguard is standing right next to them so you can take out all three of them, take the doctor's disguise, and leave. That's the best way that I would go about it if I were you, and I would suggest it 100% of the time. But if you do not have the snail, alternatively, you can take a trank, you can trank him, wait for the female doctor to panic, get her out of the way, and then once she's gone, then you can take his outfit. Just make sure the bodyguard is away from you in his cycle before you trank this guy. Or you can just make things a little quicker for yourself and use two tranks, one for the guy, one for the girl, take the guy's outfit and get the hell out of there. It is a little bit resource heavy, but it's a little faster too, so your call. The handyman is super simple. You can either choose to start handyman, of course, because handyman is a great starting spot. But if you aren't able to do that in a spin, the best way to go about this disguise is to get up to where the explosion wallbang is for Soders, where all the handymen are hanging out. In this area, you pretty much have three guys to choose from. All you need to do is trank one, probably the one furthest away from the other two handymen that's just off in the corner over here. Take his disguise behind a rock, and you're free to go. Alternatively, you can also grab the handyman that's closest to the pipe that you'd slide down in order to get into the morgue. Chain lure him up here in this spot right by where this hammer is by the toolbox. KO him here, although I would almost recommend a trank 100% of the time, just in case. And you can take his out for here. These are probably the easiest handymen to get in the map, so I'd go with them 100% of the time if you're not going to start as handyman. The helicopter pilot, or Nails, is a little bit harder to get as far as disguises on Hokkaido go, but it's nothing too crazy. As long as you're in a disguise that's going to suit you good for this area, like the bodyguard for example, you can get up into this spot right behind the chopper. If Nails happens to be hanging around the chopper, this is the best way to go. Just take a throwing item and throw it behind the chopper as far away as you possibly can so that only Nails hears it and nobody else. Keep in mind there's going to be a handyman off to your left and 3 bodyguards straight ahead of you. If Nails hears the distraction and comes to investigate, then you did it right. And then you're going to take the same item and throw it at the front of the chopper. If the other guys hear you at this point, it doesn't matter because Nails is still going to come and investigate it as long as he didn't see you throw anything. Once he's in this spot and everybody's looking away from you, then you time your tranquilizer just right and you switch disguises right behind the chopper. Of course, there's a much easier method to get him if he's not in the chopper area, but he's almost always up here, so it doesn't really matter to know this other route. But if he's downstairs with his resort security guy that's sleeping, these are where his drug stash is. And to be honest, there's nothing to it if he's in here. If he's in here, just KO him by any means necessary, dump him in the box, take his outfit, and get the hell out of here. The hospital director is quite time-consuming, sometimes depending on where he is in his cycle, but he's quite easy. The objective is just to get him sick and follow him in whichever bathroom he decides to go in. If you get him sick at the top of the ramp, where he's going to have a conversation with Yuki if she were to approach him, then he would probably go into your bathroom or into Jason Portman's bathroom. If you get him sick anywhere else, near the top, near the outside lounging area by the sushi restaurant, or upstairs inside, he's going to get himself sick in the main bathroom up here. Regardless, whichever bathroom he decides to go in, whether you choose to get him sick with a seeker shot or a fart bomb in a box, once he's isolated himself inside the bathroom, knock him out, take his outfit, get him in a box, and get the hell out of there. For the morgue doctor, there's really nothing to it. The easiest morgue doctor that I can recommend is one of the 2 guys that's right by where the morgue starting point is. They're going to be having a conversation about the medical trial, yada yada. I would say trank one of them and knock the other one out, or just drop a snail for the both of them and knock them both out. Either way, once they're both KO, just take one of their outfits and get the fuck out. It's that simple. The motorcyclist is nothing. It's basically a free disguise. It's right in front of where the camera box is downstairs in the morgue. You walk right up to the disguise and you take it. There's nothing to it because no one's around to see you take it. So grab this disguise. Just be aware of the fact that it's completely useless. And if you need this disguise for getting Yuki, then the sauna strat to get her is really the only viable option. Same with the baseball player. Same with the ninja. Speaking of ninja, this is the only disguise in the entire trilogy where you cannot access it in the map itself. The only way to access this disguise is to start as the ninja. So, it's basically your suit in this map, because the suit disguise is in the map itself, in 47 Suite like we talked about earlier. So if you have a spin that says suit and something else, you can still start as something else and then go in and get your suit whenever you want. However, Ninja still prevents you from starting as other disguises sometimes. If Ninja comes up in a spin at any point, it doesn't matter what it is, if it's Ninja and Surgeon or whatever, some nightmare spin like that, you have to start Ninja no matter what. So it's kind of cool in that sense, but it loses a bit of creativity at the same time because, again, as soon as you see Ninja in the spin, you know, okay, I'm starting as Ninja here. I have no other option. So it's a cool disguise, and again, it is useless. It's completely hostile on the whole entire map, but it starts you on the mountain path, so you have an agency pickup right there, right beside you at the very beginning, and you get a free katana for it as well. So have fun with this one. The easiest patient disguise is located in the main area of the resort, right in between the sushi restaurant and the sauna. He's isolated himself in here indefinitely. All you need to do in this bathroom is KO him. Just be aware of the mirror. Try not to get ripped by the mirror. Drag him into a closet, take his disguise, and you're good to go. Very easy disguise swap for the patient, and this is the best way to go about it. Resort security, they're all quite easy to get. The guard disguises, again, are pick of the litter kind of thing, but I can recommend 3 easy NPCs here for you to get. At the start of the default location, you run up to your door, you open the door, and you throw an item in here to get the attention of the resort security guy that's right outside your door. He's going to come inside, and you can KO him at your own leisure and take his outfit. The next easiest one is right outside where the chef lure was, right by that fuse box upstairs. He's right outside the sushi restaurant. He's roaming around that area. You need to KO him and drag him off to his side, or you can bring him downstairs and stuff him in a closet. It's totally up to you. Either way, I'd probably recommend a trank with this one, just to make things safe. And the last one is really easy, especially from the handyman start. If you ever see resort security pop up in a spin, and Ninja is not part of that spin, I'd say go for the handyman start and grab this security guy right here. All you need to do is trank this guy immediately right off the bat as soon as you start as handyman, grab his outfit, and there's nobody around to see you take it, so you're good to go. Depending on NPC patterns, this guy might be a little trickier to get later on in the spin, so you might want to get him right off the bat. For the resort staff, there's a free disguise downstairs right by the aquarium. It's 100% the most viable one to go for. If you're not going to start resort staff, this is definitely the one I'd choose. It's close by everything you need. It's right below where the morgue is. There's nothing to worry about here. As if you were to go down the drainage pipe from the upstairs area where the handymen are outside and all that. You'd come through this area and you're going to see this NPC behind a wall if you use your instinct. He's going to be having a shower. Directly behind him is the free resort staff disguise. Take it at your own leisure and get the fuck out. There's nothing more to it. There's no reason to knock out any NPCs. This is the way to go. For the surgeon disguise, just take my word for it. Start as the fucking surgeon. Don't even bother with anything else. Start as a surgeon. He's a fucking nightmare to get if you can't. If ninja is the other half of the spin, then you're pretty screwed when it comes to this one. All I can recommend is bring a Kugelmeier with you and a trank. You definitely need both those things for this disguise grab. You're going to head upstairs, preferably in a bodyguard disguise, to the very top spot. You're going to go into this room where Jason Portman would go for the mission story if you're dressed as him, where he would go to get his bandages removed by this surgeon up here. The surgeon that removes Jason Portman's bandages is the guy you're going to take out. You're going to make sure their doctors behind you do not see you, so make sure they have their backs to you. Then you're going to take your Kugelmeier and make sure it is a Kugelmeier, because if you have a different pistol for this, you could very easily get a bullet impact notice for this shot. But you're going to shoot it behind this bodyguard here, just on the wall directly behind him, and then both of him and the surgeon are going to notice the shot. Then you're going to trank the surgeon, and as the bodyguard has his back to you, and the doctors are still not facing you, then you're free to take this disguise. You do need to be careful here, and there is a time crunch here that you're going to have to worry about. So just keep that in mind if you're going to go about taking this outfit. Otherwise, I would 100% recommend starting as a surgeon if you're able. Next up, we have VIP patient Amos Dexter. This guy is pretty easy to get. A lot of people overcomplicate this one, but the best way I like to go about getting him is if you start default, you can go over to your balcony and toss an item right here, whatever it may be. If you were to leave a gum or say the snail or something for him, you can isolate him permanently until you're ready to get him. Otherwise, just take the item, throw it here. He's going to come around and investigate. He's literally going to go all the way around from his suite into your suite and check out what's going on your balcony. It's pretty sick. And from there, you can do whatever the hell you want. You can go check out, go hang out with Yuki for a little bit, knock her ass out, go back into your suite. And by that time, he's going to be pretty much finished investigating. You can knock him out, whatever you want to do, or if he's already KO'd, then perfect. Take his outfit and get the hell out of there. If for whatever reason you're not able to get Amos Dexter right off the bat in the beginning of the map and he's wandering around, he's going to be wandering around the sushi restaurant in the main area of the resort for the most part. So all you need to do then is get him sick with a fart bomb in a box, isolate him in a bathroom, and take his outfit there. VIP patient Jason Portman is not that difficult either. The fastest way to get Portman is to start default, immediately exit your room and take a right, and from there you're going to see Jason leaving his suite straight ahead of you. I like to toss a snail inside his room. If you can aim it just perfectly going into his doorway, he's going to hear the throwing distraction, and wherever the snail lands, he's going to come investigate. But because the snail also makes noise after you've thrown it, he's going to take extra steps, walk himself into his suite, and isolate himself in there already. Then you just drag his body and dump him in a closet so he's not seen by anybody that's roaming around the hallways, and take his outfit. The second method requires you to approach him from anywhere in the cycle once he's upstairs, in either your suit or wearing a patient disguise. He's going to start getting pissed at you for copying his look. At that point, you can just lure him into the main bathroom. He's just going to be talking shit to you and following you the whole time. Once it's just the two of you isolated in a room together, you can bump into him and immediately get behind him, strangle him, take him out, dump him in a closet, take his outfit, and get the fuck out. And the final method requires a trank and you to be wearing a disguise that isn't suit or patient, so that he doesn't start talking shit about you, copying his look, etc. and so forth. Somewhat early on in this cycle, once he's talking to this chick upstairs, you can bump into the chick and interrupt their conversation. He's going to go off and do his thing by this window over here. As long as you conceal yourself behind this wall here, away from all the other patients around the corner, you can trank him at any point. This female doctor from downstairs is going to freak out and come upstairs to investigate, but she's going to take a while. Once she starts running off, then you're free to take the outfit. Just make sure that nobody around the corner sees you take it either, and you're good to go. This is probably the fastest approach if you get him a little bit later on in the cycle, like I said. And finally, the yoga instructor. He's the guy with the bum leg that's going to be walking up and down the stairs that join the spa area that's just behind the spa and the garage area. As long as you get him in this spot or anywhere in this vicinity here, you can drag him down the stairs halfway and his body will never be found, and you can use anything really to KO him. Take his outfit and you're free to go. This disguise is quite easy to get. The hardest part about this one is just finding out where he happens to be, as he does roam around the area. So just keep hammering on the instinct and you should be fine locating him. So for such a small map, like we said, there's definitely a lot of disguises to go over, but I hope that all helped, and I hope you guys learned something from that one there. Disguises are always a blast for me to do. I even teach myself new methods every time I make one of these videos on how to get certain disguises and how to approach certain spins, so this is always nice doing this. So I hope you guys got something out of that. Now let's move on to the demonstration spin. I'm looking forward to this. This should be interesting. Okay, and for this spin we got an interesting one again. It's nice to see all these cool spins for this series. We got Soders must be killed with a loud pistol dressed as the chief surgeon. And Yuki needs to be drowned dressed as the helicopter pilot. So, pretty awesome. I like seeing these two disguises because they kind of complement one another, but also kind of detract from one another in a sense because getting one makes it tricky to get the other. Just because of the timing issue and all that involved. So, let's see how we do this one. I'm opting to start Surgeon. I'm bringing a Calmer, a Seeker, a Snail, and a Key Hacker. Let's see how we do on this one. So something to keep in mind for this spade is that as soon as you start a Surgeon here, there's a Surgeon Enforcer right behind you. So just, watch the cutscene, wait until the Surgeon Enforcer gets past you, then get behind the fucking Chief Surgeon guy here, trank his ass, and away we go. You already saw how to get that guy earlier. Next thing we're going to do is get this disguise ready with the helicopter pilot, just because this guy can be a bit of a bitch if the timing is off for this. So throwing a fucking snail in the corner here, making sure that only Nails hears it, and then we're going to do the throw lure again at the front of the helicopter for the chain lure part. Now, due to the timing of this and how early we are in the spin before we even make this isolation happen, the handyman guy off in that corner should not come around here just yet. We should have enough time to swap disguises, swap back into the Chief Surgeon, all before the handyman guy even turns around. Yeah, we're good to go. And now we're going back into the hospital. We're going to go down to the morgue and grab our ship and take care of Soders. We got caught on the cameras there. Doesn't matter. Obviously, we're going to be taking them out. You almost always take the cameras out on this map. Doesn't matter where you go. Doesn't matter what spin you're doing. Cameras are almost always going to be dealt with. So here's our Seeker. We stashed it in the morgues, of course, because the morgue is just the best spot to put weapons most of the time for this map. And now we're taking out this bitch. Fortunately, he has a loud pistol on him. So it's just like everything is just kind of nice how this spin all works out. Really enjoy how this works. There's our loud pistol. We're going to set up the wall bang here for Soders. Missed the first shot. So we got him on the second one. And we're going to shoot the cameras out too. Going to be ballsy fuckers. And shoot the cameras out with a loud pistol. Because why not? You only YOLO once. So we're littered with enforcers here because the helicopter pilot was found. And it can be a bit of a bitch, but we're okay. Nothing to worry about. Just keep running full blast ahead. Don't get ripped by that enforcer guard behind us. He's too busy being panicked anyways. So there's Nails, all freaking out at the fact that he's naked. Sweet, baby got back. We're switching back into the helicopter pilot. So we need to go all the way around because you can't get back inside unless you get frisked. So we have to go all the way around, go in the bottom area, down below where the morgues are, come back up. And here we go. So if we were to go straight, there would be the resort staff disguise. And obviously we don't need that, so we're good. Head back in through here. And now we're going to take the Yuki stairs, and we're going to trigger the sauna. So this the sauna lure for drowning Yuki is the best bet most of the time, depending on the disguise you need. Obviously, if it's a late map disguise, then you're going to wait until the sauna lure is viable. If it's an early map disguise, like, I don't know, bodyguard or suit or something, you could probably do the Yuki drowning thing with the Seeker shot at the beginning of the map by getting her sick when she's talking to the hospital director. That's totally viable as well. But here's a trick to open this door and keep this door open like full time. You can just put a key hacker right in front of the door, right where it starts to close, on the tracks of the door there, and it'll abruptly stop the door from closing. So it'll never be able to close as long as that key hacker or any item is just sitting in front of that door there. Exactly like it is. You just need to place it properly. It can be a little bit of a bitch to place, but yeah, cool little trick. Otherwise you would need a key hacker to get back in through this area. So these two NPCs are leaving. We're going to close this door, and there's a third NPC that's in this bathroom. We need to take care of him real quick just because he's a bitch. Throw an item from there and you'll never have to worry about ripping. If you try to grab him inside, like put him in a stranglehold from inside that bathroom, he's going to just turn around and get punched in the face, and then you'll rip. Just because that, mirrors suck in this game. So, dump this guy in this box here, and we had perfect timing on that when Yuki just came through the door. As soon as she's approaching the sauna, we're going to Seeker her ass, And we have one trank left, which is fantastic because we're going to use it on her guard here. If we didn't have a trank, we could just KO him by, doing whatever. We don't have to trank him, but tranking him just makes things a lot easier. And here's a drown kill on Yuki. It's always nice with Hokkaido because the spins in this map are rarely more than 5 minutes. If you're looking at a 5-minute plus spin on Hokkaido, that's usually a really long one. You can be out of here sub 5, guaranteed pretty much every spin. Sometimes even sub 4, sometimes sub 3. It's just a really quick map in general. It's definitely considered one of the 6 smaller maps in the game. But that was a really fun spin. Really enjoy both of those disguises. Love both those kill methods because wall bangs are always fun. And yeah, there we go. Green Guns, Sound Assassin, 5 stars. Would have been great for tournament as per usual. Sub 5 minutes. Sick. Couldn't have done it better myself. Alright, and that does it for Hokkaido and for Season 1 of the Hitman World of Assassination Trilogy. I'm super pumped to be done with Season 1. That was a total blast. Can't wait to start doing Season 2 because, if I'm being completely honest, Season 2 is my favorite of the 3 seasons. Season 3 might contain my favorite map of the trilogy, but Season 2 as a whole is just such a blast. We'll be tackling Miami on the next video because Hawke's Bay is unfortunately not part of tournaments, so we won't be going over Hawke's Bay because there's no reason to. Maybe I'll go over Hawke's Bay in the future, just in case it does come into tournaments one day. It'd be nice to get all the bases covered on that map just for future reference. But anyways, Miami's going to be a blast and a hell of a lot of work, so I'm looking forward to doing that one. But until then, I hope you guys learned something on this video. I hope you guys are having a blast with this series as much as I am. And thanks everybody for tuning in, watching, and subscribing, and following, and liking, and sharing the videos around, and all that stuff. Really do appreciate it. Means the world. So, happy holidays. All the best. Stay safe. Keep rocking out. Keep gaming.